Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between Snow Dream and SaulApeMan, taking place here on Northern Isle. On the top right hand side of the map we have Snow Dream spawning as the red night elf. Meanwhile, SaulApeMan spawning as the blue orc. Should be a good game coming in from the Dolphin Cocoon into Butterfly Cup. If you guys don't recognize these names, it is because I don't recognize the names either. I believe these are, just trying to showcase a wide variety of play in WarCraft 3. Sometimes it's just entertaining to watch a minor league baseball game, or Premier Cup versus Championship Cup. The differences between the levels of play and how you can get better, right? Sometimes when you try and watch an order of magnitude or two orders of magnitude better than you simply just can't hope or dream of playing like the big players out there. But you can learn a lot from just those who are, slightly better. So being able to mimic them as well. All right, we are looking at Altar of Elders. It is going to be a Demon Hunter going up against a Farseer, I believe, based on the timing of this War Mill. And now that we know those heroes and those introductions are out of the way, let's go ahead and jump to the 2-minute mark. Farseer may try to use some Spirit Wolf harassment, but then again, he may know that he's going up against a Demon Hunter, and with that, just try to stay close to home a little bit more. By staying close to home, he won't get mana burned, and not getting mana burned is always, well, obviously an important part of the Farseer's early creeping. Not having those Spirit Wolves really does slow things down. Crota, good to catch alive. Well, glad to be alive. Wouldn't want to be the other way, as the Farseer does go after these Murlocs here. One of those Spirit Wolves does get ensnared, and well, because of that, let's take a look. A little bit of poison damage there. There's a little bit of engagement. Farseer picks up a Cloak of Shadows. So close to home. Orc player purposely staying close to home, doesn't want to get mana burned, and now going to engage against the Demon Hunter here. Oh, however, one wolf. No, the wolves getting resummoned here. One of the wolves could have backed away, allowed for a little bit more free hitting, and now we're going to see those wolves chase away the Demon Hunter. Yes, good wolves protecting that front door, making sure as the wolves are now perhaps going to chase after that archer. Remember, wolves do deal normal damage, meaning those archers do take bonus damage from those attacks. Farseer does have a Cloak of Shadows here. What's interesting is if the Farseer actually stood right here in this position, could have summoned wolves behind, and then perhaps tried and gotten a surround right in this spot here. And yes, the Farseer would have been taking damage, but with the Orc Burrows and those Headhunters, the Farseer may have actually come out ahead in that exchange. Back off to the north here, wolves looking to put pressure onto the wisps in this Night Elf base. Most likely just more of a nuisance, harassment, trying to move units back and forth. Farseer coming back online here, going to try to engage. There's that mana burn that we were talking about. Farseer does not have a Voodoo Lounge yet, which does come as a bit of a surprise. We know how big a part of the Orc army is that Voodoo Lounge, being able to spend that gold, get clarity potions, and get healing salves. So far, we haven't seen any of that yet come across from the Orc. Tech to Tier 2 has already begun. There's that Voodoo Lounge now. Can't go long without it. Meanwhile, Night Elf already nearing Tier 2, only needing 45 more seconds. Meanwhile, Orc only needing about 30 more seconds here in this exchange. All right, wolves acting as that front line here. A nice concave circle, semicircle to focus down onto all those units, making sure all those units are engaging at the same time. Farseer are going to pick up a Crystal Ball here. That's going to be helpful against archers who do try and shadow meld. So not needing to buy Dust of Appearance could be effective. But remember, the Crystal Ball only lasts 4 seconds compared to the Dust of Appearance, which I believe does last 20. I know it lasts significantly longer. All right, there's that mana burn again, and the Demon Hunter, well, chipping away at hit points and mana. However, the Crystal Ball is quickly sold. So is the Scroll of Town Portal for a Clarity Potion, Potion of Healing, Healing Salve, and, well, we are already at Tier 2 and now waiting to get that hero out on the battlefield. Are we going to get a second hero? All right, there's going to be another mana burn. There you are. There you go. So the Farseer, once more, unable to get... Excuse me, unable to summon up wolves. These wolves already have on their timed life. Nope, Naga Sea Witch going to be the second hero. So this is going to be a timing pressure push. Farseer, Naga Sea Witch, that Sea Witch already trained up, already halfway out on the battlefield and pushing into the enemy's base. Meanwhile, we're looking at Snowdream. Snowdream getting a Keeper of the Grove as the secondary hero. Are we perhaps going to be seeing a lot of entangles as the Naga Sea Witch looking to put in pressure? All right, that's going to be an Ancient Protector. That's going to get taken down really quickly. Meanwhile, the Demon Hunter gets up to level 2, going to get evasion, a little bit longer survivability, as we could be looking at a couple of entangles to try and shut down these headhunters. All right, shutting down a headhunter one at a time removes them from combat. Meanwhile, we are now watching a tower attempt come into play, and that is going to be, well, a WarCraft minute before those get up and operational. All right, low hit point headhunters trying to retreat back. One able to escape away at 3 hit points. There's a healing salve. He's actually going to try to join back in on the fight here. That's a bit of a, well, reckless maneuver, as this headhunter most likely is just going to get focused down by an archer. There goes the Keeper of the Grove, and now backing up again. All right, perhaps wondering why he sold that crystal ball now that there are a couple of archers shadow melded here, as the Demon Hunter now looking to back away once more. Spirit Wolves trying to push pressure back here. Demon Hunter falling behind. Ancient of Wonders now nearly done, and that's going to be some potions of healing perhaps for that Demon Hunter, as we are at tier 2. 2 watchtowers nearly done as well, only 15 more seconds as the headhunter now backs away. There's another entangle, Keeper of the Grove, using multiple entangles, shutting down these headhunters, and this may end up getting stalled before these towers are up. Nope, towers are about to come online, and this is going to greatly change the landscape of the battlefield. This Ancient of War being built so off to the frontier, a ballista trying to get added, and oh, the timing is key here. The Demon Hunter Keeper of the Grove needs to put in the pressure right as that ballista is about to pop out. Otherwise, it's going to have a very short time life there, as the ballista does make its way out already. All right. Another watchtower trying to come online here. Headhunters, Demon Hunter trying to escape back away. You can see that evasion coupled with that additional armor, how powerful it really is. All right, Glaive Thrower doing quite a bit of work right now. Off in that back line, perhaps needs to see a couple of repairs as well, as this watchtower trying to get online. All right, Naga Sea Witch down to 56 hit points, down to dead, as the Demon Hunter dives in without a problem. All right, this Glaive Thrower needs to retreat back here. The Headhunters really need to put pressure on that Glaive Thrower. This is the one Glaive Thrower that's going to be making all the difference. Headhunters, well, looking to poke apart here. There's the repairs on that Glaive Thrower. An incredibly important Demon Hunter. Meanwhile, Potion of Healing, that Ancient of Wonders, so incredibly important in keeping that Demon Hunter topped off. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove, what is his second ability going to be? Well, going to be summoning up some treants, as we now see fortified armor on that watchtower. So fortified watchtowers in position. The Dryads are not going to be able to easily move here, but the Glaive Thrower is now dealing bonus damage, splitting between these two locations here. All right, Headhunters trying to go after that Glaive Thrower now, but a quick entangle forcing, well, SaulApeMan to try and stay in this spot. This one Headhunter is just going to end up getting taken down, poked apart pretty easily, as the Keeper of the Grove gets enough mana for another one again. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter trying to take down the Voodoo Lounge before it gets up and operational. There's that second entangle as well, as the Demon Hunter going to force that cancellation, and the Demon Hunter needs to fall back once more. Naga Sea Witch, Resurrection, very quick there, trying to finish off a Dryad. Dryad does get taken down. We're going to see a mana burn perhaps. No, there's the mana burn onto the Naga Sea Witch. And we're looking at the Headhunters trying to retreat once more. Spirit Wolves getting resummoned, but, well, those small things, he needed to turn around with those wolves so that they engaged. Instead, a detonation, quickly keeping things alive as the Glaive Thrower gets taken down. All right. Watchtowers very low on hit points. Perhaps we need to start seeing some repairs on those watchtowers. 2 watchtowers, one of them down to 38 hit points. Another Ancient of War coming online, and, well, we should be looking at an additional ballista. All right, more units trying to attack here. We're looking at the Keeper of the Grove trying to push or poke their way through. Watchtower does have a range of 800, as this watchtower here now in range. All right, Demon Hunter going to go ahead and, well, shuffle towards the bottom. A little bit of damage on that fleeing Demon Hunter once more, nearly at level 3. Who's going to get the level 3 first? Farseer or Demon Hunter? Demon Hunter, once he gets to level 3, that mana burn becomes much more efficient. and, well, could shut down any spell play that the Farseer and the Naga Sea Witch both have plans for. Dryads trying to continue to poke back across the other way here. There goes another entangle, with perhaps placing down a Moonstone would also be effective, as Mana Burn level 2 is added, but perhaps Evasion level 2 would have been more effective. You can see that the Farseer and the Naga Sea Witch both don't have that much mana, so I don't know if he needed all that much. Yeah, Moonstone needs to fight under the cover of night, and the Ancient of War did train up a new Grave Thrower, but it hasn't been able to do enough just quite yet. There are some level 2 Spirit Wolves, 16 to 17 damage, a 50% increase on damage there, as the pressure still, marching up here. A couple of Dryads actually positioned in a way to try and intercept any additional units. So that is a beautiful play here. If Snow Dream can intercept the units as they're making their way through, and perhaps pick them off if they're coming off a single file. Remember, they're just rallied. They're not going to attack back, and by not attacking back, that could change things. Demon Hunter gets a mana burn, but only at 13 hit points. What is this Demon Hunter doing? Demon Hunter trying to back away. There's those Dryads. We can see, well, a Headhunter here. It could get taken down. There's a couple of easy shots, but now, well, the army is going to end up getting regrouped once more. Second Glaive Thrower needs to be added. Not quite sure why this Ancient of War isn't training the units that it should be, as this Ancient of Wonders is down here. Potion of Healing perhaps going to get purchased. No, using the Moonwell instead. 42 supply compared to 41. More watchtowers slowly inching across the fortified armor, while causing problems at tier 2 for the Night Elf. And remember, the moving of the fortified armor was a pretty recent development, I'd say, in the last year or so. I forget all of these most recent patches. It was used so that originally it was at Fortress. So this is the reason why we rarely have seen fortified armor pushes against Night Elf, who is normally very piercing based at this stage in the game. Right? They have unarmored units or only have piercing damage. Druids of the Claw obviously would not be effective, as we are now crossing the 13-minute mark of this game. All right, things could go sideways a bit here. Units trying to retreat back. We're going to see the Ogre Magi Demon Hunter trying to clear out this creep camp here. Keeper of the Grove is at level 2. Perhaps we're going to get up another base. How sparse is the base back at home? We are getting level 1 armor upgrades and level 2 weapon upgrades behind this. And this has turned into a not worth saving scenario. Also, all of these Wisps, are they going to try to get some detonations off? Well, they tried to get some detonations off, but instead are just going to feed experience once more as the Wisp all get taken down. What can the Demon Hunter really hope to do right now? There's some Scrolls of Healing, level 3 Keeper of the Grove, level 3 Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter perhaps going to try and buy an Invul Potion as well. There's rebuilding a Tree of Life. There's a Glaive Thrower. And this is going to be a long, slow start as the Ancients are now making their way down. All right, there is going to be only one Wisp to begin all of this work. Remember, the Tree of Life Wisp is going to end up transforming into that Tree of Life. Hence, only one worker will need to entangle a gold mine, will need to build out a couple of Moonwells. So this recovery is, well, very, very slow, slim chances to none, I believe. Naga Sea Witch, Farseer, Ancient of War trying to absorb a little bit of damage. This Ancient of Wonder is going to get caught on the slow migration to the southern side here. The Dryads don't even have Abolish magic here. And this is just going to be an easy win by SaulApeMan, winning with this tactical, well, fortified armor tower push. All right, the Triad's going to easily get poked down here. Ring of Regeneration picked up Demon Hunter, or Keeper of the Grove with the Ring of Regeneration needs to be onto the Demon Hunter. There's the Invul Potion, transferring the Ring of Regeneration to the Demon Hunter now. Could keep him alive a little while longer. There's a Mana Burn, there's a Chain Lightning. Keeper of the Grove really doesn't need all that many hit points, as the Demon Hunter Still needs to recover quite a bit. There's that Ring of Regeneration transfer once more. All right, regenerating about 4 to 5 hit points a second. There's a mana burn. Needed to go after the Farseer, and instead goes after the Nagasi, which perhaps is concerned about cold arrows and not being able to escape. Demon Hunter down to, well, 110 hit points, still retreating back here. There's some more Moonwells, and there's a Wisp hiding off to the side here. There's a third Moonwell. Oh, so there was another Wisp somewhere here. Gonna go into a fight. We're looking at a couple of units falling back here. Demon Hunter continuing to engage that Ring of Regeneration. Well, and fighting at Nightfall. That could be some regeneration there, but SaulApeMan still has the larger army, 29 to 39, even when you account for the workers. Keeper of the Grove trying to fall back here. We're looking at a couple of Moonwell heals. There's that Glaive Thrower off in the back as well. Demon Hunter continuing to poke. What is going to happen with that Demon Hunter down to 178 hit points? He's waiting for this Moonwell. 3, 2, well, nope, going to be too far away. And that 100 mana, not going to be 100 mana on that Moonwell. Demon Hunter down to 3 hit points. Going to try to drink and run. Once more. All right, continuing to fight its way through. Demon Hunter down to 120 hit points. Just, well, trying to find the ebb and flow. There is once more another Scroll of Healing being used. 26 supply compared to 39. I believe that was a couple of abolished magics there. Perhaps those wolves will get taken down, but the demon, or there's level 4 on the Keeper of the Grove, but that still may not be enough against the level 3, level 2 with the army as well. Nagasiwich getting to level 3. Dual level 3 heroes going up against dual level 4, but the heroes just simply do not have enough. Perhaps Entangle trying to slow down some of these headhunters, and I'll drink from that Moonwell while it is there. Nope. Now being forced to back away again. Keeper of the Grove. Once more in the back, or Demon Hunter does have another Invo Potion. Is this going to be a final push coming back the other way? Mana burn perhaps onto any of the targets, as there's going to be drinking of those Moonwells. No. And SaulApeMan says, you know what? I don't need to fight in this fight. I can recover faster than you can, as I have another base over here on the top right-hand side of the map. I've taken that location. I'm winning the economic game. You need to come to me, and I'm just going to pull further and further ahead. I'm still at Stronghold, still needs a little bit more lumber, as going into dual bestiary now with Wind Riders. Alright. How is this going to unfold next? 27 versus 30 supply compared to 50 over 62. There's that Great Hall. Nagasiwich now pushing across here. Ancient of War easily going to get shut down. But I think we've seen the writing on the wall on this game for quite some time. Just the standing army of SaulApeMan and the tactical timing of upgrading the fortified armor on those watchtowers, especially when going up against a Night Elf player who just didn't have anything but piercing or unarmored units. Dryads, archers, and even if he tried to go for huntresses, wouldn't have worked out. Those ballistas were really needed. And, well, just a great job by SaulApeMan to go after those ballistas early on. All right, Wind Rider 2-1 upgrades. Trying to chase away again. The Night Elf base slowly going to get picked apart here, forcing the fight, bringing it over, and that will be the game. Snow Dream not living the dream, stuck out in the cold, and will most likely be throwing in the towel here in just a moment. All right, last little ditch of effort. Those skeletal archers, Chain Lightning bouncing around. There's an Invul Potion. Farseer, well, Scroll of Speed, going to be able to chase units around pretty easily, finish off things, and that will be the game as the Demon Hunter does fall. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Here are your final scores. Yeah. Close game in terms of score, but we know, like in the last 5 minutes, where the direction of this particular game, and was just being able to extend that lead over and over.